Hey, what's going on everybody? Kevin Walsh from Ninja Holistic Health and Fitness. Welcome back to my health and fitness video series. If this is your first time watching, again, welcome. And to give you a little background, what I do every month is I pick one of the, what I call 4 pillars of health: diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management. And then within that pillar of focus, there's a topic that I pick, which for this month is going to be flexibility and posture. And we kind of dive into that one topic and really give as much information to you as possible that you can use actionably in your own life that's applicable to everybody day to day. So what we're going to do this week for the first week of this month is look at how to improve your posture in home. So you don't need a chiropractor, you don't need a lot of equipment, and it's really, really simple and easy to actually fix your own posture on your own. So I'm going to give you some tips and tools and some of the kind of secrets within my industry of how to do this in a very simple, very easy to use manner. And by the time we get to week 4, FYI, there's going to be an action plan. So look out for that. That will be kind of basically a little map of how to use the previous 3 weeks in an actual sort of template fashion that you can just execute on and give you exactly what you need to do step by step. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is posture basics. So what is posture? Posture is your body's experientially programmed foundation for movement. So that's a lot of words. In layman's terms, what that basically means is the way that you hold yourself, your quote-unquote posture, right, it's experience-based programming. So based on what you physically, mentally, and emotionally experience in the course of your entire life, that molds your body to be in a certain sort of baseline position from which you do all of your movement. So if we want to fix the posture, we have to kind of figure out what caused it to be that way in the first place and understand that posture is basically sort of your path of least resistance that your body always goes to depending on what it's endured in the past. So we need to kind of unwind some things in order to get to a place where we can manipulate it and make it better. So good posture is a little precursor before we get into the other weeks. What that basically is, if I'm standing here, you should look as I'm showing you right now. Your ear should be right above your shoulder with the chin tucked gently, and that should go right above your hip on the side here, right above the knee, and through the ankle bone right here. That's called your lateral malleolus. There should be a straight line lining up all of those things, an invisible line, as you're standing, right? And also, there should be a little bit of a tilt in the pelvis underneath, so you shouldn't have too much of an excessive curvature in your lower back. That's basically quote-unquote good posture as a kind of a baseline so that you understand what that means and what that implies. And now some common dysfunctions with posture. There's 2 syndromes which are called upper cross syndrome and lower cross syndrome. And those are basically when upper cross syndrome is when your chin is sort of hanging forward like this. You get curvature in the spine, in the neck, and a little bit of a rounding of the shoulders. This is upper crossed. So we're supposed to be here, and then we end up here. And that's for a number of different reasons that we're going to get into in a minute. And then lower crossed is where you have way too much curvature in your lower back, and you end up with sort of a Donald Duck type posture like this, where the hip flexors get tight, the lower back gets overarched, and you end up with a lot of dysfunctions in there as well. So those are the common problems that we're going to address over the next few weeks and how to tweak those. And now to kind of get into why that is in the first place, you always want to find the root cause for anything. If you have a dysfunction, why did you get that dysfunction in the first place? And when it comes to posture, the first thing that I want to address is self-image. The way that you see yourself or perceive yourself is going to mold your posture more than any other single thing. So if you have a posture that's rounded like this, chances are you have more of a defeated sense of self than you might even realize that's putting us in this kind of position in the first place. A posture where the chest is up, where we're sort of engaged and ready for life, this is a posture of more confidence and of more self-assuredness. So the way that we perceive ourselves is going to have a huge effect on the way that we hold our body. And the second thing, which is more physical, which is what we typically look at more often, is the physical stressors or the repetitive stressors. The way you sit, the way that you sleep, the position that you're in. If you're kind of sleeping on one side over and over and over again, and the bed is contoured in a certain way, that can lead to dysfunctions. And also asymmetrical load carrying. So if you have like a briefcase and you're walking around and it's, you know, considerably heavy and you're always on one side, you'll end up with sort of a little bit of an asymmetry. The body's going to get thrown out of alignment as a result of that. So these are the things that cause problems in the first place, most typically. All right, and now the last thing that we'll look at here is, this is the kind of do-it-yourself. So we're going to get into this again in weeks 2 through 4. The foam roller mobilization that you can do at home on your own is going to be the most powerful thing that you have to readjust your thoracic spine, which is your upper back here, to be more in an ideal position. And individualized stretching, that's what we're going to get into the next couple weeks. You don't want to just stretch muscles blindly, right? Yoga is a great thing, but you want to make sure that you're making sure that the muscles that you stretch are actually in need of being stretched. If you stretch muscles that are already too loose, you're actually going to make your body more dysfunctional. So you have to be very selective about which muscles you stretch, and that's going to be different for everybody depending on your current issues of what you're dealing with or what's tight, etc. So we'll get into all that in the next couple of weeks, and I'll give you more, action-based items for how to do that. In fact, next week we'll get into the actual stretches, a whole list of them, and I'll give you the PDF to that so that you can sort of look at the picture that I'll give you of a given stretch, and then go to the video for next week and see how to perform that stretch and how to test yourself to see if those particular muscles are tight. So that wraps it up for today. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next week, and be on the lookout for the stretching portion coming in week 2. Thank you very much.